army.
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant?
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius.
Who in the hell is that?
Just a local idiot.
The movie begins with a man named Forrest Gump sitting at a bus stop. He offers some chocolate to the woman beside him, but she doesn't answer him.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
He starts narrating his childhood. Forrest used to wear leg braces to help him walk. The doctor says his leg is strong, but his back is crooked, and they need to straighten it.
His back was as crooked as a politician.
His mom named him after the great Civil War hero, General Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Don't ever let anybody tell you they're better than you, Forrest. If God intended everybody to be the same, He'd have given us all braces on our legs.
They lived in Greenbow, Alabama, in an inherited house, and his mother rents out some of the rooms to make a living. At the Greenbow County Central School, the principal tells her that the state requires a minimum IQ of 80 to go to public school, and Forrest has an IQ of 75.
But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else.
Mrs. Gump insists that everyone is different, and there must be something that can be done.
Is that Mr. Gump? Mrs. Gump?
The principal gets laid that night while Forrest sits outside.
Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son.
Forrest says he and his mother were alone, but they usually had travelers around filling the house. There was once a young man who had a guitar case in the house. Mrs. Gump comes to find Forrest dancing to the man playing the guitar.
I started moving around to the music.
One night, as he and his mom walk past a TV in a store, they see that same guy redoing Forrest's dance while he sings. The man was called the King and apparently died after singing too many songs, says Forrest. On his first day of school, Forrest remembers stepping into the bus, but all of the kids refuse to let him sit by them. A little girl named Jenny tells him to sit by her. She asks him what's wrong with his leg, and he tells her his legs are fine. From that day on, they were always together. She taught him how to climb, and he taught her how to dance. He recalls that she almost never wanted him to go home when it got late, and she was his only friend. In the present, he tells the woman that his mom always told him that miracles happen every day, and he believes it. In another flashback, 3 boys throw stones at Forrest to bully him. Jenny tells him to run away, and the boys chase him on their bikes. While Forrest tries to escape, a miracle occurs. His braces start to fall off, and he starts to run fast. He wouldn't believe it, but he can run like the wind blows. And that day, he outran the boys until they had to stop. Forrest says his mom always said that God is mysterious.
That boy sure is a running fool.
In high school, the same boys taunt Forrest and throw stones at him. Jenny tells him to run while the boys chase him in a car. Forrest manages to outrun them and heads into a football field while a game is going on.
Who in the hell is that?
Just a local idiot.
Forrest is enlisted on the college football team. During a game, he outruns several men, and none of them are able to catch him. The coach says he's the stupidest person alive, but he's sure fast. Forrest Gump says college was confusing, especially because of something that happened while he was at the University of Alabama. He saw a large crowd and is told that some black students are trying to go to the same school as they are through the help of a man called George Wallace. A newscaster reports that the University of Alabama has been desegregated and that 2 students have signed up for summer classes. After that, George Wallace ran for president but got shot. Shortly after, the woman's bus arrives, and Forrest tells her it was nice talking to her. Another woman with her kid tells Forrest she remembers when George Wallace was shot, so he asks her about her college. He tells the woman Jenny went to a college just for girls, but he always visited her. One time, Forrest sees Jenny and a guy in a car, and it looks like she's struggling. He runs to the car and starts to punch the guy, but Jenny tells him to quit it. The guy gets angry and leaves, but Jenny tries to tell him Forrest doesn't know any better. Jenny demands to know why he did that. He hands her some chocolate and decides to leave. Jenny takes him inside because he's drenched in the rain. Inside, she starts to undress, and she asks him if he's ever been with a girl when she notices him looking at her body. She removes her bra and lets him touch her, and he prematurely releases. She tells him it's fine, and they hug. Meanwhile, Jenny's roommate listens to them and feels horrified, but Jenny tells him it doesn't matter. Forrest says that college ran by fast because he played so much football. They even put him in something called the All-American team, where he got to meet President Kennedy. At a buffet, Forrest says that the best thing about meeting the president was the food. He wasn't hungry but thirsty, so he drank about 15 bottles of Dr. Pepper. When it's time to shake the president's hand, the president asks him how he feels, and he tells him he has to pee. He says that sometime later, for no particular reason, someone shot that nice president while he was in his car. After 5 years of playing football, he got a college degree, which made his mother proud. On graduation day, a military officer hands Forrest a U.S. Army recruitment flyer.
Hello, I'm Forrest Gump.
How many years the hell you shit who you are, buzzball?
Most of the people refuse to let him sit by them, but one guy named Bubba lets him sit, and he talks just like Forrest.
You ever been on a real shrimp boat?
No.
In camp, Forrest says he fit into the Army real well because all you needed to do was make your bed neat, stand up straight, and answer every question with
Yes, Drill Sergeant!
During the gun coupling practice, Forrest put it together in a few seconds.
Done, Drill Sergeant?
Why did you put that weapon together so quickly, Gump? This is a new company record.
Meanwhile, Bubba keeps telling Forrest about shrimp.
Pan fried, deep fried, stir fried.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
One night, Forrest sees a picture of Jenny in a magazine wearing her college sweater, which eventually got her thrown out of school. A man who owns a theater in Tennessee saw those photos and gave Jenny a job singing in a show. He immediately took a bus to go see the show. The place seems to be a strip club. Jenny is introduced to the stage, and she sings some folk song while she's half naked. Forrest watches her and says her dream has come true, but a random man rudely tries to touch her and pours a drink on her when she refuses.
Forrest, what are you doing here?
Forrest roughs up the man and tries to carry Jenny away, but she tells him to let her down. When they go outside, Jenny tells him he can't keep trying to rescue her all the time. He tells her he can't help it because he loves her, but she tells him he doesn't know what love is. Forrest tells her the Army is sending him to Vietnam, and Jenny tells him to promise to never try to be brave, but to run if he gets into trouble. In Vietnam, Forrest and Bubba go to meet their officer, Lieutenant Dan Taylor. Forrest says he likes the lieutenant because he welcomed them quite well. One night, Bubba asks Forrest to join him in the shrimp business after they leave the Army, and Forrest says it's a fine idea. He sent Jenny a letter regularly, but it seems she never really replied to any of his letters. One day, the platoon is ambushed by the enemies, and the lieutenant tells them to retreat. Forrest, Bubba, and the lieutenant managed to escape, and Forrest kept running until he was all by himself like Jenny told him to. He ran back to find Bubba. On his way, he found several wounded soldiers and carried them to safety. He also finds Lieutenant Dan, who tells him to leave him there, but he carries him away. He gets the lieutenant to safety and heads back to find Bubba. The lieutenant tells him an airstrike is coming and will napalm the whole area, but Forrest refuses because he has to go find his friend. He finally found Bubba with a big hole in his chest. He manages to carry him away just seconds before the airstrike begins. When he gets him to safety, Bubba tells him he wants to go home, but he soon dies in his arms, while Forrest cries. Another man happens to be on the park bench, and he asks Forrest if he got shot. Forrest tells him that he did sustain a shot to his buttocks. He said the only good thing was that he got all the ice cream that he wanted. He was placed near Lieutenant Dan, whom he offered ice cream, but he didn't respond. While in the hospital, Forrest gets about a dozen letters from Jenny that she sent while he was in Vietnam. One day, another soldier invites him to play ping pong and tells him the secret is to never take his eye off the ball. It came naturally, and he used to play so well that people would gather around to watch him play. One night, Lieutenant Dan grabs him out of sleep and tells him that he cheated him from dying in the field with honor, and now he's a cripple. The lieutenant starts to cry and asks Forrest what he's going to do now.
What am I gonna do now?
Sometime later, an Army officer informs Forrest he will soon receive a Medal of Honor. He excitedly goes to tell the lieutenant, but learns he's been sent home. 2 weeks later, the president awarded Forrest the Medal of Honor. When the president learns he was shot in the buttocks, he jokes that he would like to see that, and Forrest shows him on national TV. Forrest goes to see the Capitol and mistakenly gets mixed up with some guys also wearing military uniforms. Little did he know, they were headed to an activist conference against the Vietnam War, where he had to speak. Forrest was led to the stage to talk a little about the war. After he gives the speech, Jenny spots him from within the crowd, and they both reunite. Jenny shows Forrest around and introduces him to her boyfriend, Wesley. He then sees Wesley slapping Jenny, and he beats him up.
He should not be hitting you, Jenny.
They're both kicked out.
Sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party.
He tells her he would never hurt her, and he wants to be her boyfriend. They walk around, and she tells him about her traveling. Jenny decides to follow Wesley to San Francisco, but Forrest tells her he thinks she should go home to Alabama. Jenny insists on going, and Forrest gives her his Medal of Honor.
I want you to have this.
Why are you so good to me?
You're my girl.
Sometime later, Forrest is put in special services playing ping pong. He says the Army decided he should be on the All-American ping pong team sent to play in China. He is later invited to a show to speak about his time in China with John Lennon.
Can you tell us what was China like?
In the land of China, people hardly got nothing at all.
No possessions?
Forrest says the nice young man was later shot on his way home to see his little boy. After the interview, Forrest runs into Lieutenant Dan, who is angry that they gave him the Congressional Medal of Honor. Forrest helps Dan cope and stays with him during the holidays. On New Year's Eve, Dan takes Forrest to a bar, and Forrest says he's going to Bayou La Batre to buy a shrimping boat to fulfill his promise to Bubba. Dan jokes that if Forrest ever becomes a shrimping boat captain, he'll become his crewmate. Forrest starts to think about Jenny and how she's doing in California. Later, he is discharged from the Army and he decides to go back home.
So I went home.
His mom welcomes him at home, and she tells him a man is offering $25,000 to advertise his ping pong racket. After that, he heads to Bayou La Batre to meet Bubba's family, who think he's crazy. He goes to Bubba's grave and tells him he's going to use all his money to start the shrimp business. Forrest buys a shrimping boat, and he eventually finds out that shrimping is tough.
Only caught 5. A couple of more, you can have yourself a cocktail.
Later, he decides to name his boat Jenny. Meanwhile, Jenny is taking drugs, partying while in California, and working as a call girl. Forrest always thinks about her and hopes whatever she's doing is making her happy. Meanwhile, Jenny looks quite miserable and attempts to jump out a balcony but changes her mind. Over time, Forrest keeps thinking about Jenny as he continues his career. One day, Lieutenant Dan comes to see him after he got Forrest's letter. Dan tells him he's here to fulfill his word to become his first crewmate.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
I am a man of my word.
Okay.
We'll find some shrimp, so take a left. What are you doing? Take a left. That's where we're gonna find those shrimp, my boy.
Forrest asks how they're going to find shrimp, and Lieutenant jokes that he must pray for shrimp. Forrest goes to church every Sunday and even takes Lieutenant Dan with him. They go fishing again, and they don't find shrimp. Dan asks him where his God is. And Forrest says that God responded. The next morning, a newscaster reports that Hurricane Carmen came through yesterday and wiped out Bayou La Batre's entire shrimping industry. He says only one shrimp boat survived the storm. That boat turns out to be Forrest's boat. Forrest says that after that, shrimping was easy. He says people needed shrimp, and they were the only boat left standing. They got so big that they had to get 12 more ships named Jenny and named his company Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Are you telling me you're the owner of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Corporation?
Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Boy, I heard some buffers in my time, but that tops them all. We were sitting next to a millionaire.
The old woman says his story was lovely, so Forrest shows her a picture of what Lieutenant Dan looks like. Forrest remembers a time when Lieutenant Dan almost thanked him for saving his life.
I never thanked you for saving my life.
He never actually said so, but I think he made his peace with God.
Sometime later, Forrest gets a call telling him his mom was sick. He rushes home.
Sure got you straightened out, didn't we, boy?
She tells him she's dying. He asks her what his own destiny will be without her. And she tells him life is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're gonna get. He says she got cancer and died a short time after. Sometime later, because of his achievements, the city of Greenbow, Alabama decided to offer him a job. Forrest didn't go back to work with Dan, but he always sent him some money and took care of the shrimp business. Dan even invested some of his money in a fruit company.
So then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more.
Forrest says his mama said you only need so much. So he gave the rest of his money to the Foursquare Gospel Church and more to the Bayou La Batre Fishing Hospital. He also gave Bubba's mother Bubba's share. The woman saw the check and fainted. She didn't have to work in nobody's kitchen anymore. Even though he was rich, he always thought of Jenny. One day Jenny comes to find him out of nowhere, and they hug passionately. He says Jenny came back to stay with him, maybe because she had nowhere else to go or because she was tired. Forrest says they always took walks every day and he always talked, but she was usually quiet. One day, they walk back to her old house, and Jenny angrily throws stones to break the windows and breaks down in tears. He says every day he'd pick flowers and put them in her room for her, and she gave him some cool shoes for running. One night, Forrest asks Jenny if she'll marry him, but she tells him he doesn't want to marry her. He asks her why she doesn't love him. He says he's not smart, but he knows what love is, then heads outside. That night, she sneaks into his bedroom and tells him she loves him, and they make love. The next morning, Jenny leaves while Forrest is still asleep. After she leaves, he just sits quietly and looks into space. He gets up and goes for a run and runs to the end of the road. When he got there, he decided to run to the end of town. Then he decided to run past Greenbow County. After that, he ran clear to the ocean. Then he turned back and reached another ocean. He kept running and didn't look back. He says he always thought about his mother, Lieutenant Dan, and Jenny. On TV, folks watch how a man named Forrest Gump, who only stops to sleep, has been running across America for the 4th time. Reporters crowd Forrest to ask if he's doing this for animals, women's rights, or world peace. He tells them he just felt like running. Eventually, some people started to follow him around. He says some of those people told him he gave them hope, but he wasn't so sure about that. He ran for 3 years, 2 months, 14 days, and 16 hours. Suddenly, he stops, and all his followers listen to what he's about to say.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
He returns to Alabama, and one day he gets a letter from Jenny asking him to come see her in Savannah. He tells the woman that's what he's doing here. He's waiting for bus number 9 to go see her. The woman tells him he doesn't need to take a bus because Henry Street is just 5 blocks away.
Down that way?
Down that way.
It was nice talking to you.
So Forrest runs there. When he sees Jenny, she excitedly lets him in. She shows him some scrapbooks she made from his running journey. She tells him she wanted to apologize for everything she did because she wasn't in a good place back then. Her son soon arrives, and Jenny tells him his name is Forrest.
Like me.
I named him after his daddy.
He got a daddy named Forrest, too.
You're his daddy, Forrest.
Forrest steps back tensely, and she tells him that he didn't do anything wrong and doesn't need to fix this. Forrest becomes scared, and he asks her if the boy has his condition, and Jenny tells him he's one of the smartest kids in his class. Forrest goes to sit with him, and they watch TV. Sometime later, Jenny tells Forrest she has an incurable virus.
Come stay in my house in Greenbow. I'll take care of you if you're sick.
She asks him if he'll marry her. On the day of their wedding, Lieutenant Dan walks there with prosthetic legs and brings his fiancée.
Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, Forrest. Custom made. Titanium alloy.
At the end of Forrest Gump, Forrest is telling his life story at a bus stop while waiting to see Jenny. When he finds her, he learns that she has a son who is actually his child. Jenny is very sick and Forrest stays with her. They get married, but she later dies. After her death, Forrest raises their son by himself. The final bus stop scene shows Forrest sending his son to school, which mirrors the beginning of the movie and shows that life goes on. Love Forrest loved Jenny from childhood until the end without changing. Loss. He finally gets the life he wanted with Jenny, but only for a short time. Growth. He becomes a father and takes responsibility with real maturity. Full circle. The movie starts with Forrest as a child and ends with his son beginning that same journey. Life goes on. Even after pain, death, and heartbreak, life keeps moving. Forrest finally gets love, loses it, but finds purpose again through his son. If you want more movie explainers like this, comment the next movie name. And subscribe to K.Movie.E at K.Movie.E for more. Please visit to our Instagram and Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching till the end.